Hello everyone, Canadian Edge here. We are going to do another knife review today. The knife we are going to be looking at is the CJRB Pyrite. And if you saw the unboxing, it sounded like I was saying pirate, but it's pyrite. The blade on the Pyrite, it is 3.11 inches long. Open it is 7.30 inches. And closed 4.19 inches. The steel on this, it is an ARRPM9, which is a higher quality steel. So it should hold an edge for a good length of time and be a little bit harder to sharpen, but not too bad. And it is a drop point blade. The weight on this, it is 3.7 ounces. The handle, it is the stainless steel. And you can get this with the G10 and I believe micarta. I'd have to check again. Sorry. But I know you can get the G10 as well. And I prefer the G10. Now having the stainless steel, I wasn't paying attention when I ordered the knife and ordered just the stainless steel. But that's to be talked about later. The pocket clip on this, it is a stainless steel, reversible, tip up deep carry. So lefties, you can put it on and work this left-handed, and it works quite great left-handed, and so the knife is very ambidextrous. It has the dual thumb stud for opening and works well. Has a lanyard hole for people who like the lanyards. You can put that on. And it has the jimping on the back of the blade. And it's rather shallow jimping, but it's there. And you do notice it. So it does help with the grip on there as well. And one of my favorite things is it is a button lock. I am liking the button lock knives. They're very easy to operate. Both right-handed and left-handed. I find them super easy, and so a person with disabilities like myself, button locks work well. And there is ceramic ball bearings in the pivot, so you got a nice smooth pivot on this thing. Very happy with the pivot. I did put pivot lube on it, but it didn't need it. It worked fine out of the box. And there is a choil, and with smaller fingers you could use that as a finger choil. Guys with bigger fingers, you'll want to be careful because I think it's more of a sharpening choil, but it can be used as a finger choil as well. It's big enough. So just be careful when using that. And the knife, it is centered. Does that show up? Kind of. Yeah. It is centered, and there is no blade play. Side to side, up and down, it sits in there nice and solid. So that's a good thing. Now, let's do a size comparison here. We will compare this to, we have the Ontario Rat 2. So you can see it's not a huge knife, and we got the Benchmade bug out, and they're basically the same size. So roughly the size of the bug out. We'll grab a couple more and compare them. We got the Sencut Saxi, which you can see it is a bigger knife, at least one of my finger widths lengths. And the Spyderco Tenacious, which is also a bigger knife, especially if you line them up. So again, it's not a huge knife, but it's a good size knife. I like the size on it, and yes, it is proved to be a very good knife. A few of the things that I really like about it, I've mentioned the button lock. I do like the aesthetics, although it's a very generic looking knife. Again, if you compare it to like the Bug Out, you know, it's a very generic design on it, but obviously it's a design that a lot of people like because a lot of people get these knives. So I do like the aesthetics. You know, there's nothing real super fancy about it. It does have a little bit of swedge on the top there, but it's just a good practical design and it works well. The ergonomics on it are very good. It feels comfortable in the hand. You've got good leverage. The choil there allows you to do finer motor skill type work, and it's just, yeah, it works well that way. The ceramics ball bearing makes the pivot very smooth. In fact, this thing almost feels like assisted opening when you open it. It fires very well. And I've had a couple people who've tried it out and they asked me, is this assisted? And I'm like, nope, just very smooth pivot on it. And as you can see, it's definitely not assisted when you close it. And one of the nice things I do like about it, it is a very slim design, so it fits very well in the pocket. And let's do a little bit of a sharpness test and see what we have for sharpness now that I've told you all the goodies about it. I think, yes, you can see it's got a nice sharp blade on it. The RPM 9, it should hold the edge for a long time. We will try the good old zip tie and see how we do with that. I don't think this is going to ride up the belly of the knife, but we'll see. And it went through that quite easy. I just don't have the greatest motor control skills, so it looked a little tougher than it actually was. But it went through pretty darn easy. And through the nylon cord, yeah, you just pull it back basically. And it goes through that, and the fake cord, and nothing. It just goes through that. Through that quite simply. So yes, it is a very practical knife. I enjoyed carrying this the last couple weeks and using it. Open boxes, envelopes, different things with it, and it works very well. Sits nice and deep in the pocket, which is great. The only thing really sticking out is the pocket clip when it's in your pocket, because it sits, you can see the pocket clip sits a little bit higher than the knife, if I get that actually in the picture for you. So I love the way it sits in the pocket, and then with the thin design, you don't really notice it in the pocket. It doesn't take up a lot of room, and it just really works well. CJRB, I've enjoyed their knives. They've got some good knives on the market, good prices. I forget exactly what the price on this was. I want to say in the $60 range. But you can watch for sales and stuff like that. A couple of the things that I didn't really care for, I did mention. I'm not a big fan of just the stainless steel handle. It doesn't offer a lot of grip. There's no texturing on it. It's smooth. It's comfortable, but I prefer the G10 or that. Just gives you a little bit of extra grip on there. Although you do get a good grip when you hang on to it, but you can feel it is slippery. And so if you are a person who likes a good solid grip, I would recommend getting one of the other handles on it, but it doesn't affect the use of the knife or the function of the knife. It still works very well. And one of my biggest beefs and complaints, they did not countersink the pocket clip. So it sits up. So that's going to be a little added wear and tear on the pocket. Not the end of the world, but just a frustration. I wish more knife companies would take note of that. And I know it's extra work for them to countersink it and whatnot, but it is nicer for use in the pocket. But yeah, those are the only two real complaints that I have on the knife, and those aren't big complaints at all. If I had the different handle on it, it definitely wouldn't bother me. So not huge complaints. The knife functions great. It works great. As you can see, you know, even cutting through different stuff, it still slices the paper and the other things quite easily. And just, it's a really good knife. It seems very solidly built, and I think it would be a really good, well, I know it would be a good EDC, because I've carried it, as I say, the last couple weeks and used it for various tasks, and it worked great for that. And so I would encourage people to carry this as an everyday carry. The button lock is nice, makes it super simple. Opening and closing, pivot, super simple. Opens great, no problems at all with the opening. It is just a really good all-around knife. I really like it. So check those out. I'll leave a link in the description that you can check those out here in Canada. They're readily available. I know Blade HQ and Knife Center and different companies down in the States carry them. Here in Canada, you can find them at House of Knives and Warriors and Wonders. And so, yes, I would recommend this as an everyday carry knife. Good solid knife, feels good in the hand, works great. It is a little bit smaller knife. It's not the full size, but if you're okay with that, I would encourage it as an everyday carry knife. All right, that is it for this, the CJRB Pyrite. Check them out. I'll be doing another review in a couple days. Be sure to watch for that. Hit the like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment. I will get back to you. Love hearing from you guys. And we'll do this again. But until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.